Coming up in this video, a nice lift surf. I'm really enjoying this lift. Wait, what? Oh shit! Right then, this is my big adventure in Germany, 2023 edition. Because my big adventure in Germany last year was so good, I've had to come back for another one. And let's begin in Hamburg. And let's revisit one of my favourite lifts here, which is a vehicle lift that goes down to a tunnel under the river. And these lifts are very old. Just take a look at the design of these lifts. They are extremely vintage and they are huge, massive, heavy duty lifts. These are very rare, so let's ride it. And now I go along to Hamburg Hauptbahnhof and just take a look at all of these trains. Let the adventure begin. Because for just €49 I can travel throughout the whole of Germany. And that just gives me such a feeling of freedom. And while last year it cost just €9 for a month, €49 is still crazy cheap compared with the UK. Because the trains in the UK are so extortionately expensive to a point where I don't really travel much around the UK because I can't afford it. Yet in Germany, I've got freedom to go wherever I want and it feels good. So I get on the train and continue along to my next destination, which is Nordhausen. But it's now time to go to sleep. And while trains are cheap, hotels are not. Fucking hell, you do not want to see the price of hotels in Germany. But on this adventure, I am hammocking in the woods every night for 2 weeks in Germany. And on the last trip, I had to bail out and stay in hostels a couple of nights where it's rained. On this trip, I managed to do the full adventure, almost 2 weeks of non-stop camping. So this adventure was done on the cheap.
Oh, Nordhausen. Is there going to be a hidden house created in the woods? Well, maybe a hidden hammock. I'm not sure about a house. Hamburg.
I now go along to the next city, which is Bielefeld. This city has got an interesting Stadtbahn system, which I've done a separate video on. Let's now go along to a random car park, which has got some ThyssenKrupp lifts. Let's surf them.
Wow, pissy car park. Fucking hell, that's disgusting. Crappy car park. Floor 11. Stops pretty good. Oh, look at that, it's got vans on it. Oh boy, I'd love to be on that. Brand new vans just arrived from somewhere. Oh, imagine surfing that. Door opening, door closing, door opening. Maybe not door opening. Door opening very slowly. Fucking hell. This is fucked. What's that bit there for? Yeah, just fucked. Oh, that's motor guard. Motor comes down to there, so it hit you on the head, that's why. Crappy. Very crappy.
Now I go to the next city, which is Ham, which is basically just like Hamburg but without the berg, or the U-Bahn, or the city atmosphere, or pretty much anything. In other words, I'm in a little tiny shithole, and along we go to a little hydraulic lift down to an underground car park.
Fake Otis display, crap company. Right, let's do... hydraulic. We're levelling on that, it's all jolty really.
And the lift at a train station has some severe overheating problems. This room here is not a motor room, but it's just the logic cabinet room, and they've had to add air conditioning to keep the logic cool, as it was overheating. That is not good.
Türen schließen.
This lift's got severe overheating problem. Full-on aircon in the logic cabinet room, not even in the motoring, it's MRL. Wow, it must have a severe overheat problem. Look how bad this is. Bad levelling, despite being a Schindler, it's not mechanic. Long delay. Long delay, and it's a Schindler, which is meant to not have that delay.
Now I go to the next city, which is Wuppertal. One of my favourite cities because of a certain dangly train. I've done a separate video of this train that's also going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel.
That has to be my favourite sign. I bet someone would do that. I bet someone would literally lift up that thing on the back of their van, crash it into the dangle train. You just know someone would be that stupid if they didn't have the sign up. Welcome to Pissy Lift. Press the button with my knee because I don't want to touch it. Wow, how many people pissed in this? Knackered. Wuppertal Vorwinkel. My favourite station because it has a really good name and it's got a dangle train. It's National Express. Oh dear.
Now I go to the next city, which is Cologne Bonn. I count these two cities as one city because for public transport reasons they're sort of merged and combined. Whilst here I didn't actually film any lifts, I just went here to revisit some of my favourite trains. Now I'm not going to do a separate video on these because I've already filmed the trains and trams in Cologne Bonn many times already. So let's now go into the woods, because it's now time to set up camp for the night.
Hammocking in the woods time! The only problem is that bag's touching a tree, which I'm slightly worried about because I don't want an insect to walk up and walk in the bag. Don't think that'll happen. That's that. Outer quilt, under quilt thing, sleeping bag is the inner quilt thing, jumper for extra warmth. It's all set up quite well. I'm getting better at setting this up actually. It took me just 10 minutes this time to set it up.
Now I go to the next city, which is Frankfurt. And it's now train trespass time. Let's run down the train tracks of the Frankfurt S-Bahn, where you get some very interesting views of the train tunnels. And now I go along to a posh hotel, which has some 1980s Otis lifts. I managed to get into one of these lifts that has a diagonal chassis. Sadly though, this lift's been modernised by Otis.
Oh no. No. Shame. It looks nice. Too busy to surf, just got diagonal chassis. You can also see by the sides of it. It's not diagonal, but it's too busy here. Start over it.
And now I go along to a car park in the woods. This car park looked interesting until I saw the lift, which is very boring.
Oh, that's boring. All the way to this car park to find a shit lift. Fucking outside hydraulic. Didn't expect that. This is so shit.
Why am I even filming out rubbish? Let's skip this lift, this is a crap one. So then, it's now time to camp in the woods again. And this is where I camped this night, which is quite a nice wood. It's very clear, it's not much undergrowth, which is just how I like it. So then, the next day, I didn't actually film any lifts. Let's say I got distracted on one of my other hobbies. A hobby which YouTube doesn't like, and it's definitely got nothing to do with train surfing. So then, after this, I then went along to a swimming pool in Germany. And one thing that really interests me is how different cultures throughout the world feel like some rules they have to always obey and other rules they feel they can just not obey. And it's really different in different countries. For example, in Germany, the culture is very strict. For example, crossing a road on a red man is really frowned upon and not many people do it. But on a situation where it actually matters to obey rules, such as at a swimming pool on a water slide, where you don't want people going past the red light, because when one person gets to the bottom, the person behind could crash into them at speed. But at this water park, all of the German rules and strictness had all gone out of the window as everyone was going absolutely crazy. Something I never thought I'd see in Germany. People going down the water slide 6 people at a time. People going down head first. People doing somersaults down the water slide. Be honest, I joined in and it was a lot of fun. Apart from when I had to quickly jump out away at the bottom of the water slide before the next person would come down and crash into me. I just found this kind of odd because I've been to Germany for years and this is the first ever time I've ever seen people breaking the rules en masse. So it really shows that even strict societies have certain areas where people stop being strict. So then, it's now night time and along I go to a freight depot.
Oh, all those arcs on that. Why so many arcs?
And this is where I hammocked for the night. Probably not the best place if I got caught, but it's now morning and we can now see the place where I put my hammock across an abandoned railway, which is the perfect atmospheric spot to put a hammock. Now I go to the next city, which is Aschaffenburg, which sounds like more of an insult than the name of a city. And along I go to a car park, which has some nice glass lifts to serve. Why surf an ordinary lift when a glass lift is more risky, especially in Germany, which is vigilante land.
Nächstes Obergeschoss.
Slow leveling. I love car parks here. Bossy lift. Fucking hell.
Now I go along to the next city, which is Nordhausen, a very small city that's not much more than a town. It's only got 40,000 people, but despite how small it is, this place has its own tram system. Somewhere this small would never have a tram system in the UK. And as well as the main part of the tram system, there's also a tram route that goes deep into the forest. And as well as running these very old looking trams, there's also steam trains on it. And you can ride the steam train on the Deutschland ticket with no extra cost, which is just really good. And it's now time to camp for the night.
Hammocking in the woods on a steep hill. So this is at Bielefeld, north of Nordhausen on the weird little train tram thingy.
And the next day, let's go and ride the lift in Nordhausen. Now we go along to the next city, which is Erfurt. I go along to a very posh hotel, which has got some older lifts that have been modernised by Cone. So it's lift surfing time. I get on the lift I was in, try to serve it and mistime it. So I go to the lift next to this one in the same set, as also in the same shaft, and I'll surf this one. It's when I was surfing a lift down, I suddenly realised I was not alone in this lift shaft. Because on top of the lift, which I was inside just a moment ago next to the one I'm surfing, there is an engineer on top. I don't know how he didn't hear me trying to open up that lift a moment ago, but if I hadn't successfully opened up that other lift, I would have been directly face to face with that engineer. He was surfing in normal. Naughty engineer. And now I went to a lift next to this one, and this lift went down. I was almost next to his engineer. But did he see me? So, I go to the lift to put it into inspection to drive the lift up. I tried to do this as quietly as possible so he didn't see me. But he looked up and looked right at me. And for a few seconds, we both froze and looked at each other. I quickly dashed off that lift. I'm not sure what the engineer did. I think he gave chase, but I'm not sure. I just didn't hang around long enough to find out. And considering that this was in Germany, the land of the vigilante, that could have gone very badly wrong, but I managed to get away. Now we go along to the next city, which is Gotha, which is a very small city with just 45,000 people. But just like in Nordhausen, despite how small this city is, it's got a tram system. And this isn't just some small little tram system. This has got trams running quite a distance actually into the countryside. And it's got some really nice old trams such as Tarchers and Do-Wags. Now these trams whiz past on this really nice countryside tram system. And I've done a separate video on this. So then it's now time to camp for a night. So I set my hammock in the woods right next to the tram tracks. Just for a novelty of the fact that somewhere actually has a really interesting tram system, and the sound of the trams hurtling past my hammock in the night was a really nice sound for me to relax and go to sleep to. And now I go to the next city, which is Hamburg.
Will it work? First attempt. That one did. This one's a bit crumpled, let's see. Yes, it accepted it, even the crumpled one. Don't press the spend button. Spend means donate in German, so you press that one.
And now I go to a little shopping centre, which has a little glass lift, which is hydraulic.
Hotman Cologne.
Now to the next shopping centre. This is also a little shopping centre. This one's got an original eco disc. And now into a little hotel, and this is kind of why I don't film ordinary little hotels, because these have off-the-shelf basic lifts like Gen 2. Not worth filming really, once you've seen one, you've seen all of them. But one of it that's interesting is it's got Soviet-style floor numbering. So when the floor numbering's not in German but in numbers, it's no floor 0, it starts on floor 1. That is the Eastern European influence, as this is actually a part of East Germany. Even though this is a modern lift and this lift was built after Germany was reunified, still got Soviet floor numbering. Talking about Soviet stuff, there's still a couple of little tiny sections to the tramway here which are still from Soviet times. Like look at the scene here, that is just so Soviet looking. Not much left like this because Germany's a very wealthy country, things get replaced very quickly. So there's only a couple of little bits left that still have that Soviet feel to them. So then, it's now time to camp in the woods again. But on this night, after it got dark, I heard gunshots. I found that very odd. I thought it was probably just some sort of automated bird scarer system. Turns out I was completely wrong. I also heard animal noises very close to us hammocking. And it was only on the next night I then discovered what this actually was. Now I go along to the next city, which is Dessau. And along I go to a random office building, which has got some 1980s Otis lifts. Let's surf them. So then, now I go along to the next city, which is Berlin. Berlin is a very large and very interesting city. And let's go along to a lift at a train station, which has got a minus 0.5 floor.
Minus 0.5? What the fuck? Minus 0.5, fucking hell. I wonder if you have many characters on the screen actually. What does it say for that? Oh, minus 0.5.
Ausgang. Tür öffnet.
And now go along to this new entrance, which is not fully finished being built yet. This has got some very nice glass lifts.
Level 9. Interesting lift. Glass, nice. Tunnel. Wow, that's bad. Open. Nope. Nope, still trying to close. Got a hand in the way, my foot in the way. It's still trying to close. I can feel it still trying to close. What's wrong with this thing? It's not a nudge. No, it's not a nudge because the open works. I don't know, that's fucked. One of the lifts is fucked, but if you look inside, it's on chains. So that really is fucked. That's not going anywhere. Capacitive, look at that, capacitive. That is hideous, whoever that is meant to be.
Now I go into a very posh shopping centre. This shopping centre looks very nice and even has robots. I think these robots collect the trays up or something, but sadly I didn't move when I was here. It'd be interesting if there was more robots in Europe. They have a very Japanese sort of feel to them. Now to the lifts. Notice on the outside of the lift they've got this old analog style indicator. Back in the very old days of these sort of indicators, it'd be on a cable attached to a lift and makes the indicator move around. But this one you can see is digital, meaning it just has a little motor on the indicator and then it moves it to the floor it lifts at. And you notice it moves to one floor, waits, then moves to the next floor, so the actual digital indicator ticks over.
It's digital though. Yeah, that's digital how it moves. That's not connected to a piece of rope to know its exact position.
Now I go to a very posh office building with some nice glass lifts. Ooh, it's the Radisson Collection Hotel. We all know what happened in there. They had a bit of a smashing time. Yeah, their oversized fish tank, I think it's like the largest transparent freestanding fish tank or something, smashed all of a sudden without warning. So far, I'm still investigating it, and I really hope they make public the findings of what happened. I really like it if they'd release the CCTV footage, because there has to be some sort of CCTV of the actual smash happening. That'd be very spectacular to see. More concerning though, it's the exact same company that built this fish tank that smashed, built the transparent bridge ring product spans gap between two buildings in London. I really hope that doesn't randomly smash. So then, I now go to the outskirts of Berlin, along to its countryside tramway where there is some woods for me to camp in, which should be the perfect place to sleep. Or was it? In the night, I heard snorting. A wild boar had came over to where I was sleeping. That was a bit of a worry, but luckily it did just go off of its own accord and I didn't see any more wild boars after that. I then realised the night before, the animal sound I heard was also a wild boar, and the shooting sound I heard was hunters trying to shoot the boar. I now don't know which is more scary, the boar or the hunters. I actually feel the hunters are probably more scary. So then, it's now the next day.
Where's Piggy gone? Probably hidden a long way away. That was scary. It came right up to my tent in the night, going really close. Once it gone, I got out and put my food high up a tree because it's probably food that's attracting it. But I don't know. I don't think they're that dangerous. Online it says they're not that dangerous unless they're provoked. Nevertheless, I'd rather not have a pig go right next to my hammock while I'm sleeping. It's not the piggy or the wild boar. The scariest part is its pets. Anywhere there's wild animals will mean there's going to be ticks. And I don't really want to have a tick. So that's why people got big fences around their gardens. It's not to keep people out, it's to keep the wild boars out. I didn't realise there's so many wild boars around Berlin. And here is the tram stop, ready to get my tram back into Berlin.
And along I go to a posh hotel which has got a cone eco disc.
Okay, let's not have a repeat of earlier. Yes, let's not have a repeat of what happened a couple of days ago.
And now into a large department store. The main lifts here are a bit boring, so let's ride the service lift instead. And now I go along to the next city, which is Cottbus. This is a smaller city. It's got some trams here which look like this.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hermann-Hammerschmidt-Straße.
And along to the shopping centres. The first shopping centre is a bit of a tatty centre. It's got its little hydraulic lift.
Hydraulic poles at the back. The locked off, taped off floor. What's down here? Fuck all's down there.
And along to the main shopping centre. This shopping centre is much nicer and looks quite posh. This shopping centre has an eco disc. And along to a car park which has got a Schindler smart lift, but sadly it wasn't working. And now go along to the next city, which is Zittau. This city is located on the tri-point of Germany, Poland and Czech. In this city there is a steam train. Unlike in Nordhausen, which is on meter gauge, this one is on narrow gauge, but sadly this one you cannot use with the Deutschland ticket, so sadly I could not go on it. And now go along to a train that crosses the border over to Czech. Even though online it says I can actually use the ticket one stop across the border into Czech to the town of Hamburg nad Dessau, the ticket inspector told me my ticket wasn't valid. What a dickhead. Going on the train one stop across the border to Czech takes this very weird route, going from Germany across briefly into Poland, then around into Czech. It's a very strange route, and here I am over in this small town in the Czech Republic, and notice how different the train station looks. This is a classic Eastern European looking station, just a few miles across the border and all of the scenery looks different. So, while I was across the border, I might as well make use of cheap food prices over here, and I forgot what a big difference in price there is between Germany, where prices have gone up recently like crazy, and over in Czech, where prices are still really cheap. This is all the food I had for my lunch. Notice there's quite a bit here, from bottle of water, red pepper, salami, nuts, what I thought was a milk, but it turns out it's actually yoghurt, cheese triangles, chocolate and a smoothie. All of that came to £6. In Germany it'd probably be more like £10. Now I go to the next city, which is Dresden. So after camping in the woods for a night and having another encounter with a wild boar which went hurtling past right next to my hammock in the middle of the night, the next day I log into the city centre where there is this very interesting looking water feature. It makes a kind of like sphere shape of water. Very clever. Now we go to this shopping centre. This shopping centre looks very posh and modern. Let's take a look at the lifts. and let's do an emergency stop.
Untergeschoss. Basement.
That's not harsh. Oh, goes back up, reverses.
Obergeschoss. First level.
Now I go to the next shopping centre. This one looks very spacious and very impressive. Let's take a look at the lifts.
Viertes Obergeschoss. Viertes Obergeschoss.
And now I go into a hotel. This hotel has got some house hunt lifts which are currently in the process of being modernised by Cone.
With a Schindler alarm. Fucking hell, slow. Question is, do I dare do that one? Because that one is being modded now. This one's just had its mod done. Do I dare do it? We've had two encounters of engineers so far. It's quicker. Quicker.
Now now I go along to the last destination of this trip, which is Dresden Airport. And I was very impressed by this airport. The airport is very large, got lots and lots of space, even though this airport has hardly anyone using it. So it's very quiet, very relaxed, and it's got a really nice large aeroplane viewing area. This airport makes English airports look complete crap by comparison. And as for the queue for going through security, the queue took 0 minutes. And just compare that to the complete utter chaos going on at Stansted Airport. So let's now take a look at the lifts in Dresden Airport. First lift is very crap. And now to a large glass lift. And now across to the car park.
Those 3 lifts got shutters down, these ones haven't. 2 big lifts and a small lift. On the other side, they've never installed a lift. So 2, 4. And the small lift's actually on a different set to the others, it's a different lift as well. Oh, this was dodgy. These lifts are crap.
So then, that is the end of the video. If you've got any ideas of which places I should visit in Germany next time, leave a comment in the comment section.